Okay, everyone, I'd like to call to order the Finance and Administration Committee. May we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Erickson,
Here.
Mr. Morse,
Here.
Mr. Beggs,
Here.
Mr. Walker,
Here.
Mr. Hardy.
Here. I'd ask for approval of the meeting minutes from May 9th, 2024.
I'll do that. I'll make that motion, Morse.
Motion by Morris, support by Beggs. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Are there any changes to the agenda? Hearing none, I would ask for approval of the agenda.
So move.
Moved by Erickson, support by Beggs. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Is there any public comment this time for Finance and Administration Committee? Any public comment? All right, moving on. Mr. Hughes, Health Department Annual Report.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Kevin.
All right. We have copies of our annual report I'll share with everyone. And again, for those that may not remember, my name is Kevin Hughes, and I'm the Health Officer for District Health Department number 10. Thank you for the opportunity to provide the annual Health Department update to the board. The annual report, put together pretty much like it always is, starts off with a letter from myself and Dr. Morris, our medical director. Then there's a little bit of information related to the financial picture of the health department, which is very good. And then move into more of the divisional successes within the agency. And then the end of the report is the place everybody likes to go to where all the data is, because they want to see where their county compares to all of the other counties, the other 9 counties that make up our 10 county jurisdiction. So if you have any questions on that, by all means, let me know. This is available out on our website if individuals would like an electronic copy, as are all of our previous annual reports are out there. So you could download them or just kind of scan through and look at those. Specifically related to 2023, when we went into 2023, we were anticipating it was going to be an interesting year for us. Interesting from the standpoint of, coming out of the pandemic, we knew our clinical services especially were down. Revenue from those services had been on the decline. And so as we moved into 2023, we were wondering, is this going to be a new normal for us that we are going to have to staff for and plan for, or are we going to begin to see a turnaround? And surprisingly, we saw a turnaround. Actually, things have gone in a positive direction for us. We're not back to where we were prior to the pandemic, but we are moving in that direction. So our clinical services, so immunizations, family planning, hearing and vision screenings, services like that, those are starting to come back. And knock on wood, hopefully that is going to continue. On the regulatory side of the health department, so you talk about our wells, septics, food inspections, those things really we did not see any change in throughout the entire pandemic. It really was related to more of the clinical services that we provided. So hopefully that is going to continue. Also in 2023, you'll see on the front of the annual report, there's a stamp down there that says FAB, Public Health Accreditation Board. In Michigan, local public health departments have an opportunity to go through 2 different accreditation cycles. One is mandatory. That's the state accreditation or MDHHS accreditation. I really kind of equate that to more of contract maintenance. So they want to come through, they want to see, the widgets that you said you were going to produce, are you producing those? The national accreditation, or this FAB accreditation, is a voluntary accreditation process that health departments can go through. And so here in Michigan, there's about 5 out of the 45 local health departments that have gone through this. What this does is it allows us to compare ourselves to any health department in the nation. So there's an established set of criteria that we have to compete against, and then based on that, it's determined whether we are a nationally accredited health department or not. And so we went through that process. We had to submit all of our information in prior to August. In August, we had a site visit. It was a virtual site visit. And in November, we were informed that we were reaccredited as a nationally accredited health department. So that'll be a 5-year accreditation that we'll have. Not sure if I'll be here the next time we have to go through that or not, but we will. State accreditation, on the other hand, is 3 years, and we actually will be going through that the week of June 10th. Staff from the state will be up and going through all of our policies, procedures, and meeting with all of our staff that provide those services. So, and then the last thing in 2023, and I've heard it mentioned here earlier today, talking about more of the workforce capacity issues and the issues of hiring and maintaining staff. We're no different than that. We are experiencing those same types of issues. Specifically in our food service program, normally we have 6 food inspectors. We have now lost 3, and so we are in the process of trying to find 3 people. So if you know anybody interested in becoming a food inspector, have them reach out to the health department. A bachelor's of science degree is really all that's required, and then the rest of it is training that you're going to get, and that's really kind of the reality of what we're facing now. We don't find individuals who have previous health department experience. It's individuals that are interested, they meet the educational requirements, and then we have to invest in training them. And so we are, that's a considerable part of our budget is an investment in training, trying to get people up to speed so that they can be competent and perform their job professionally and serve the clients in our jurisdiction. So again, no different than anybody else is. Previously, we could post a position and we might get 10, 20, 30 applicants for that position. Now, if we get 10 applicants, we're doing good. Out of those, we might set up interviews with 5 of those individuals. 3 of them won't even show up the day of an interview or even contact us back, and we're kind of left with the 2 people that do show up that we have to pick from. And that has just kind of become the new reality of what we are dealing with. Our board has been very supportive of implementing retention strategies and trying different things, but it is still a struggle that we face. So, moving forward, some things that we are continuing to monitor. Everyone is aware of the avian influenza issue that is going around. If you watched the news yesterday, you saw that there was a human case associated with a dairy farm here in Michigan. The overall risk to humans is very, very low. Obviously, our main concern with this is the potential impact to the food system or the food supply. Avian influenza, I've heard from people, well, this is a new thing, we've never had it before. Avian influenza has been here forever. It kind of goes in cycles. What's interesting or what's different about it this year is the fact that it is impacting the dairy herds. Here in Michigan, I believe we have 15 herds that it's confirmed that it has impacted. And unlike the poultry facilities, where if it gets into a poultry facility, all of the birds in that facility need to be destroyed. In the dairy process, those cattle are kind of quarantined off to the side, and so milk production is decreased. I mean, sick cattle on their own will not produce as much milk, but when you have to cut that in half, or whatever the quarantine amount is, that has a significant impact potential on the food system that we have. So really trying to focus in on biosecurity and trying to prevent it from getting into those herds. Again, overall, the risk to humans is very low. It's really more the food system that we are concerned about. Measles is another thing we kind of keep an eye on. Knock on wood, we have not had any new cases in probably 3-4 weeks, so that's a good thing. We had 5 cases, confirmed cases here in Michigan. One of the big issues with measles, it was considered eradicated in 2000, and then we began to see it coming back. And so we're running into some issues with providers who have never seen a case before and aren't quite familiar with what to do as far as testing or how to look for it. And it is one of the most, if not the most, contagious virus that we do deal with. So it doesn't take a lot to get it spread around. So spending some time educating the providers on that. But again, like I said, we've not had any cases in our jurisdiction, and we've not had any new statewide cases in an extremely long period of time. And then the other thing that we're continuing to monitor, and I know this has gotten discussed at this board as well as my Board of Health, is the statewide sanitary code and what might come with that. We are expecting that there is going to be a 4th version of the bills that are going to drop in July. Not sure what's going to be in those bills. But right now, the way they are currently written, requiring an inspection of every septic system every 5 years, the health department is not supportive of this, and actually MELF, or the Michigan Association of Local Public Health, is also not supportive of this issue. We support the concept of what they're trying to get to. I think it's important that we identify all the septic systems that we have, but on a 5-year time frame, it would kill us. Within our jurisdiction, we have approximately 165,000 septic systems. Those are the ones that we know about, and there's a whole bunch of others that we don't know about. So if we had to inspect those every 5 years, it would be about 33,000 inspections that our staff would have to do, in addition to everything else that has to be done by our sanitarians. And when you're talking about maybe 1.5 sanitarians per county, there's no way that we could do that. There are a number of statewide groups, including MELF and MALIHA, which is the Environmental Health Directors Association, that are really trying to steer this more towards maybe a statewide point of sale program. The trigger mechanism there would be if a property is sold or transferred, which we have in a couple of our counties. They work very effectively. They're much more efficient to operate. And it would be something that would be much easier doable with our current staffing levels. Yeah, it might require we have to bring 1 or 2 people on, but compared to 10 or 12 people, that's quite a bit less. The unfortunate part about the statewide the statewide point of sale issue is that the realtors are actually one of the supportive groups of this statewide sanitary code with the 5-year inspection. They are not supportive of the statewide point of sale program because they feel that they'll end up being the septic police. I don't necessarily buy that argument, because if it's a statewide initiative, everybody is going to know what they need to have to do. In the counties where we have our point of sale program, which is Manistee and Oceana County, the individuals know when they put their house up for sale, they need to get an inspection of their well and septic. It's not a big deal on the part of the realtors, but that is the current feeling, their argument against that. And then the last thing to share with you, last August, you had given us permission to put in one of the Narcan vending machines out in front of our building. And so from August 1st of 2023, and I only have this information through this past February, there were 248 boxes of Narcan that were taken out of that distribution box. So individuals have utilized it. Questions?
I'd like to thank you, Kevin, for your report. And Kevin is somebody we enjoy once a month when we go to Cadillac and join the other 9 counties for this board meeting. And Kevin has an immense responsibility, and all through the hiring issues that he brought up that we've heard about. And in our Mark Hill's retired now, so we don't have our sanitarian in Oceana County that knew every back road and every location. He's not there. We do have a new sanitarian, very good young sanitarian. The statewide code, as Bob and I heard, back over a year ago when we first passed that resolution that we were against it. When I was in banking, we always required a well and a septic. It was just part of it, along with a pest and an asbestos, and there may be many more parts of the inspection that were necessary. So you got to have a well and a septic inspection when you do secure a new mortgage. It's just good business. So I agree with what Kevin had said there. And then if you look on the last inside cover, Kevin, if you might tell us, we've got a thank you back there. We have Hart, Ludington, Pentwater, Shelby Public Schools, all of those schools involved in programs here, along with Peterson Farms, Meridian Healthcare, Molina Healthcare staff for our Ready, Set, Go program. Can you tell us what we get in Hart and Shelby and Pentwater?
Those schools will collaborate with us, whether it be in our adolescent health centers, the school-based wellness programs that we have going on at those schools. They may also provide space for other types of initiatives that we do and other involvement in some of the programs that we do. We know that that's not a complete list. It's kind of our best guess based on the notes that we have, who needs to be on there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As Paul mentioned, he and I are your representatives on the board, and envision having the position that Mr. Hughes has, where he has 20 county commissioners that he has to, who actually he works for. The board of directors hire the health officer and then set policies that are brought to the health department from Mr. Hughes' office. And we have no contact with the employees or anybody else. There's nothing. Kevin is the only person we have contact with. And I can tell you that he does his job very, very well. And he's up on the legislation that's going on. He have people on the legislation committee headed by Nick Krieger, the commissioner from Mason County, and all of the other things, you know, the hearings. We had one hearing last year, you know, on a denial of permits, but the whole process, it's, I mean, Kevin, how many employees do you have today?
We have close to 240, 245 right now.
So, you know, that gives you a perspective of how big it actually is in the 10 counties and the responsibility that goes along with it.
Well, and Richard Smith, the chair of our board, is extremely involved, both on a local level and a state level and a federal level. So, you know, we have some extreme depth on that board. Richard's just great. You guys had quite a time in Lansing too.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
I just, yeah, thank you for your work, Mr. Hughes. I'm just concerned about Lyme disease. The trend here is not good. I know we got ticks, it's all over the news, and tick population increase and all that, but it sounds like that's only gonna go up.
Correct. We know the environment is changing, it's getting warmer, so the environment for breeding of ticks is much better. This year especially, we did not have much of a winter to kill them off. And so actually anytime it is above 32 degrees, ticks will breed and be active. So actually, that reminds me, thank you. On the front of in the front of the annual report, I did stick 2 flyers in there. One is on the septic replacement loan program. This is an initiative that Eagle has started, so there actually are resources that are now available to individuals if they qualify for them. If their septic system has failed, that they can utilize in terms of a market-based loan, or there now is a income qualified loan opportunity available to them. Again, this is an Eagle initiative. If individuals have questions, they can reach out to the health department. We'll try to answer them as best we can or direct them to someone that can get them answered. The other thing is this flyer right here, community presentations that we're doing. The last couple of years we have done health summits. We're continuing them this year, and actually the topic of this year's community presentation is on bed bugs, ticks, and mosquitoes. And so we're actually partnering with an entomologist out of MDARD who is actually doing the presentation. This is a regional presentation, so we had our first one on Tuesday over in Big Rapids. There will be one over this way on the June 4th. It'll be at West Shore Community College. These are free. A lot of good information, and the idea of ticks was covered, prevention, what to look for, what you need to do, as was with bed bugs and mosquitoes as part of that. So I'd encourage you, they're free. I'd encourage you to attend those if you are or able to, because they will provide you a lot of good information. And they're open to the community, they're free. You can reach out to the health department if it's something that you're interested in signing up for, and we'll get you registered for it.
And they're not just free, you get breakfast.
And you get breakfast, yep.
Great, anyone else? Kevin, thank you very much.
Okay,
for your
thank
report.
you.
All right,
Appreciate
thanks
it.
guys.
All right, moving on, Administrative VR, resolution recognizing May as Mental Health Awareness Month.
The mental health, community mental health reached out and asked that the board of commissioners consider adopting this resolution recognizing May as Mental Health Awareness Month, as they have in the past.
Questions?
It's been my practice to vote no on this every year, just, and I'll just state the reason why is that, CMH, I don't believe offers the, proper solution to mental health. I'll just leave it at that. It just doesn't line up with my worldview. So I'll vote no, but that's why. So.
And I struggle with it too, just I have voted for it in the past just because it really doesn't matter. My vote doesn't, I mean, in this case, it doesn't. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. Like, it's not gonna change anything. But there's, I mean, if there was some wording changes, I would definitely, you know, consider it more, but,
All right, moving on, Mr. Biard, employee picnic decision, 2024-62.
Bob, did you want to,
This has been up and down because at one time the attorney said that employee picnic was something that was not allowable. And then I had a conversation with the attorney a week ago, and it is allowable with something as simple as a sign on the front of the tent that says, you know, people can join us, and being outside it is. But I want to put out an option, and I want you for the board members to think about. This year, the 4th of July is on a Thursday. The Community Mental Health and for West Michigan Mental Health and the Health Department are both closing their offices on Friday for an employee appreciation. And I think if Oceana County would give enough notice that we could do the same thing. And I think we should consider it as an option to the picnic. If the board agrees that it would be something that would be acceptable to do, to close the county building in Griswold Street for the 5th of July, a one-time only. This is not setting any, both CMH and the Health Department did it as a one-time only appreciation to the employees. And we think about it. The road commission closes every Friday all summer long. And the road commissions adjust their schedule around every holiday that comes up. And there would be, the only loss that we would have would be the downtime, but the people would be paid if they were their cost. I mean, the people would be paid if they were here. If the board would consider agreeing to closing the office that one day, or the county building that one day, I think we should have the administrator reach out to the department heads the first of the week and see what they would prefer, a company picnic or have the county building offices closed on the 5th of July. A one-time deal. I'm saying this is only once. You know, and it's an opportunity for us to tell our employees that we do appreciate what they do. And that gives everybody enough time to court and everybody enough time to do their scheduling.
One question and then a thought. Is this an unpaid day off?
They would receive their regular salary.
Okay.
They would receive their regular salary.
So hourly employees, it would be a paid day off?
Yes.
Okay. And then the only department that I would wonder about would be the courts if they already have. And I don't know if we even talk about.
I think giving over a month ahead lead time that they can adjust their schedule in the
I
courts.
just wonder if they have stuff already scheduled, trials or anything like that.
They generally don't schedule any trials for Fridays.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I think, well,
Well, I guess if we check with department heads.
You know, this is something that's coming in the public sector. This is, you know, occasionally.
Sure.
That's it. You know, and naturally it can't affect the union people. You know, the union people have a contract, but it would be for all non-union employees.
Yeah, I struggle with it just a little bit, and just because like, what's our goal here? To like of the picnic is to show our appreciation, and that would show. I mean, people would appreciate a day off, you know, paid. We already have so many days off. That's my only thing. Is there's so many, you know, there's so many holidays as it is. I do want to show my appreciation. That's just, I'm not saying that, you know, I disagree with it. That's what I'm battling with in my mind right now.
I'm putting it out as a proposal. So.
Yeah, and, yeah,
And it would take.
I think we should ask the department heads, that'd be my suggestion, I mean, certainly they're gonna have the 4th off.
right,
So come back in for the 5th and then go to the weekend, you know.
It's non-productive day. It's always
Non-productive
proven to
day.
be one of those days that people don't produce.
And in lieu of the appreciation picnic, I think it's worthwhile. Okay,
I mean, my people aren't coming back on Friday.
sure.
I don't wanna be that guy.
Well, and you may have a lot of people that opt for
Go
vacation.
places. Yeah, they want the whole
Well,
enchilada.
yeah, I think if we check with the department heads, I think that's viable. I think they're probably gonna go to the day off rather than the picnic, but
I think so, but this board appreciates what our employees do. And it's just one way of expressing that appreciation of what they do.
Right.
And, you know, if there was anybody in the 5th district that I represented that didn't like us to closing that one day, they can talk to me about it, and I'll express my feelings about it. There's a lot that gets produced in our building. So many tasks that get done.
Tracy, could you check with the department heads and just see them?
We certainly can.
Yeah, and the court, I guess, as well.
Yep.
If that interrupts anything. But
We have something set up today.
And if they choose the day off, we'll work through that. If they do not, then the administrator, you know, can get started for the picnic.
Yeah.
But thank you, Mr. Hardy.
Anybody else? Okay, administrator review of selected claims for payment and administrator report.
So the list of claims are in your packet. Are there any questions on those?
I did about, Mr. Hardy.
Go ahead.
The Heron Construction for indigent,
Indigent?
thank you, veteran and dependent expense of $11,200. Was that a building? What was that expense?
That is for the Veterans Affairs Office. They have indigent vets that submit applications, and then their board reviews them and makes the determination who gets what funds for certain things. And this particular one was one of the items that they had approved.
Okay, and so Heron Construction must have done the work.
Yes.
And that's, okay, all
Correct.
right, thank you.
Was that actually construction that was done on the building then, or that was approved, or?
Jim should know.
Well, I'm not privy to this information. It would have been a veteran who had a need,
Okay.
and the VA
Yeah, you're correct.
paid to fulfill that need,
Like a bathroom or a ramp or
or
a.
something like that.
You're correct. yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Mhm.
Okay, and then, administrator's report, I just wanted to let you know, I'll be having an update. I've been at, my administrators conference, and I'll have an update for you at the next meeting. There's some great things that have been coming out of those meetings, and we've been talking with the legislators, or with MAC, about some legislation that's coming up and those types of things, but, we have a nuts and bolts session tomorrow, which is, pretty good group. We all get together and talk about the different things that are going on within our counties. But the other thing I wanted to touch on is to let you know that the Drain Commission has been moved down to the Equalization Department. Michelle, with the friend of the court, was in that office, and she has now moved up to the old Drain Commission office. But the back part of that office is for the files that were in this room right here next to IT. And they were very close to getting all of those files out of there so that they can get that opened up for our IT department. So I just wanted to let you know that there's been some progress on that.
Great.
That's all I have.
Department head reports. Okay. All right, moving on, we're gonna go into closed session for the purpose of the county administrator's annual performance evaluation.
So I'll make a motion that we go into closed session for Tracy, for Administrator Byard's, excuse me, need to have a motion. Annual performance evaluation.
I'll support.
Motion by Morris, support by Beggs. If we go into closed session, all approved.
No, roll call vote.
I'm sorry, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Morris,
Yes.
Mr. Beggs,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
Mr. Erickson,
Yes.
Mr. Hardy.
Yes.